What's up, everybody? It's Dave from Betsum.com, and today I'm going to go over a few of my Week 5 NFL daily fantasy sports picks. First, we have our quarterbacks. Drew Brees is one of the expensive quarterbacks that I'll be taking in quite a few leagues. He looked great last week. He might be back. We'll see. Away at Philly, it's a 49-point total, which is one of the highest that Vegas has, so there should be points scored in this one. So I like Breeze and Bradford in this game. Definitely a couple Breeze up with, you can try Brandon Cooks or maybe one of his tight ends, as he does like to spread the ball around a lot. I like Matt Ryan, another high total here at 48, so expect some points. Ryan looks great, especially at home. So I like him, and Julio as well this week to score some points. As I said before, Sam Bradford, I love him this week at 6,000. I think that he's playing really well right now, and the Eagles' running game, everyone's injured and no one's really a number one, and Bradford's playing with some confidence right now. I think that he's going to have a big game. I also like Derek Carr in Oakland. Hopefully there's a shootout out there in Denver. I actually like Oakland to win this game outright and deal Denver their first loss. Some other quarterbacks I like, of course, Tom Brady. You can't go wrong with him, although I do think they're going to run the ball a lot to blunt that game. But you can't go wrong with Brady for 7,800. I'd like Phillip Rivers at home. Tyrod Taylor is not bad. Kirk Cousins and Nick Foles fall into the same category for me, as their teams may get down early and force them to throw the ball a lot in the second half. So I like those two at the cheap for that. And Michael Vick away at San Diego. I don't expect him to have a great game, but at that price with the weapons around him, he could blow up. So it's worth sticking him in a lineup or two at least. Below that, we have our running backs, and I like a lot of running backs this week. I'm kind of usually I go wide receiver and I'm the flex, but this week I'm going to go running back heavy, especially in the flex, and maybe even a couple tight ends in the flex. So go 2 tight end set. I like Jamal Charles at home the most for expensive running back. He's against the Bears, and they should really just give it to Charles all game. And he gets receptions too, so he's heavily involved in the passing game, which is huge. But I feel like he's a can't miss. He should get 20. He could blow up. He's worth the price tag this week. Eddie Lacy at 6,700 I also think is worth the price tags. The Rams do have a good D, but Rodgers will get it inside the 10 multiple times that game, giving Lacy plenty of opportunities for touchdowns. That and Green Bay's receivers are all questionable right now. Devontae Freeman and Justin Forsett, they're my 2 favorite plays of the week for running back. Devontae Freeman has just exploded the last few weeks, and it looks like they're going to keep giving it to him. And they're against Washington at home. I think they give it to Freeman all game, and I will definitely be putting him in about a third of my lineups, if not more. Latavius Murray, I don't mind. I don't love it. They could get down a lot versus Denver and be forced to throw the ball, but he's looked great, and I do think Raiders are going to win this game, and if they do, Murray's going to have a lot to do with that. So I'll be putting him in a few lineups. Forsett, as I said before, he's home versus the Browns. I think he finally has a monster here. Steve Smith Sr.'s out. They got to lean on him. We'll see. But I think him and Devontae Freeman are my favorite plays of the week. I like Le'Veon Bell at 8,500. They are away, but they'll have to lean on him away at San Diego. And he gets a lot of receptions, so he's really expensive. It's just too expensive, but I'll put him in a few lineups just in case he goes off. Rashad Jennings at home for the Giants. I think that he could have a big game, and he's a pretty good price tag. Blunt, I think the Patriots are going to try and take away Dallas's run game and try and run it themselves because Dallas has given up a lot to the run, and I think Blunt's going to get the load there. And I also don't mind Detroit's running back Abdullah at home for a 4,100. As far as wide receivers, I like Emmanuel Sanders a lot this week. He's a lot cheaper than Darius Thomas, almost a full 1,000. He gets just as many looks. Thomas had a neck injury last week, a stinger. I don't know how, he's questionable this week. He'll play, but hopefully that means more looks to Sanders. And I also had a dream about Sanders going off the other night. that I was reminded of when I was talking to my buddy about all this. So I'm going to play him just because of that. Why not? So a play that I love this week is Amari Cooper. He's been playing great, and they're going to have to beat the Broncos at home. And if they do, especially if it's a high-scoring effort, Amari Cooper is going to be heavily involved in that. So I like him a lot this week. I like Jordan Matthews for the same exact reasons at home for the Eagles against the Saints. Bradford's playing great. Eagles are finally starting to look good, and I think that that's going to be a high-scoring shootout, and hopefully Matthews gets the brunt of the receptions. I like Pierre Garçon and Kenny Britt for the same reasons, but Garçon I like a lot more. If the Redskins get down big to the Falcons, expect Cousins to start throwing. And Pierre Garçon's his best and possibly only target. I love a few tight ends this week. Bennett for the Bears has been great, and I think he continues to be great this week. Cutler just seems to really rely on him, and if they get down a bunch of points at KC, they'll have to throw. Charles Clay for Buffalo, he's Tyrod Taylor's number one option right now, and he really couldn't be at a better price. He'll get the ball, and he's an absolute playmaker. I don't love Owen Daniels, but at $2,700, he's a great price, and for being Peyton Manning's tight end against Oakland, who doesn't do well against the tight end this year. As far as team defenses go, I like these 5 good home teams and good defenses against weak teams coming in to their home to play. I think all 5 of them are a really good price compared to some of the $4,000 away defenses out there, and could stand to put up a lot of points.